Insecure. It's back.
Hey boos, in this video I give commentary based on my opinion. Nothing is to be taken as factual. We are just here to have conversation. We don't expose and we don't sip tea on this channel. I'm giving you real talk straight, no chaser. Let's see if you can handle it.
Cause I'm a boss.
Oh, hell no. Girl, I guess.
Wait.
It's just that, you know your life don't have to be this messy, right? Sometimes I think you like that shit.
Okay.
Hi guys, it's Yanie and I'm back with another video. I wanted to talk about this episode. I'm not sure if I'm going to review every episode. It depends on the episode, but this episode I wanted to talk about. A lot of people are being super judgmental regarding Molly, including myself. When I really sat back and started to reflect on Molly's behavior, I started to realize that I was Molly at one point. And I'm going to be breaking down what I really mean by that, and also I'm going to be talking about the true trash friend in this whole entire situation. I asked you guys on my Instagram and Twitter if you wanted me to review Insecure season 4 episode 1, and you guys said yes. In my tweet I basically said that Molly was trash, but honestly, I don't want to say she's trash. I just think her behavior is trash. When it comes to Issa and Molly, their relationship has always been rocky to me. I don't feel like they really had a solid friendship. I felt like their friendship was very conditioned. And what do I mean by that? It just seems like when it comes to Molly, she's only friends with Issa because she's like the successful friend. It's just weird. You never see Molly hang out with women from her firm. You never see her hang out with other women that maybe she went to college with. It's very clear that Issa really wasn't on her level the past 3 seasons. You never really see Molly hang around any other women that are really on her level. I mean, this is a woman who is a lawyer. She works at a very nice firm in LA, an all black firm in LA, and it's just kind of weird to me that she doesn't hang around other women that are on her level. Prime example with me, I hang out with other women who are entrepreneurs, bosses, own their own businesses, whether it's online or it's an actual location. So I like to hang around bosses because they inspire me, they uplift me, and they continue to push me to do better. So it's really weird that you don't see Molly hanging around other like-minded women like herself, seeing that she is educated, she is a scholar in my opinion. So it's just weird that she doesn't hang around women like that. When it comes to Molly, the reason why I feel like I can relate to her character at one point in my life was because I was in a super insecure place. And it's very clear that Molly is in a super insecure place. Homegirl needs therapy. I mean, it's nothing wrong with Molly in my opinion. I just think that her behavior is trash right now. To me, the real trash friend in this whole entire conversation when it comes to this episode is Tiffany. How is it that you know that Lawrence is dating the new girl and the new girl happens to be Condola? I believe that's how you pronounce her name. You failed to mention it to Issa. I felt like that was hella shady to me because it's not that Issa would care. It's just you want to give your friend a heads up. If you respect your friend, if you respect that person or that woman, you're going to come to her and give her a heads up because that's what any woman would want. And Tiffany is really not a good friend in my opinion. There's no way in hell Issa should have found out the way that she did, and Tiffany should have had that conversation with her. She clearly knew all about it and she did not say anything. So when it comes to Molly, the reason why her behavior is so trash is because she does more tearing down than uplifting. This was a moment. This was Issa's first successful event, and she couldn't just be a friend and she couldn't just congratulate her and say you did a good job. I mean, let's face it, Issa has been through hell these last 3 seasons. So to see Issa in such a good place, to see her in a positive aura, to see her really taking care of herself and focusing on what she has set out to do in reaching her goals and accomplishing her first event. This is a goal for me. So to see Issa play that out within her character, it was inspiring to me. And as a friend, you would think that she would just be there and support her. Honestly, when it came to that conversation, Molly was not wrong about what she said to Issa, but the issue was it just wasn't the time nor the place. This was the time to be that supportive friend and just congratulate her, bring her flowers, and just be like that positive light. You did it, and maybe even joke about how she talked about doing it. I love doing that with my friends. I love bringing up how they worked so hard to get to this point and then it finally happened. And I like to bring up old conversations of them crying, old conversations of them wanting to quit, and I have to encourage them to keep going. I love doing those type of things within those type of moments because it's inspiring. It's like, finally, this is what being a friend is truly about, is when your friend actually does something successful, you support them, you cheer them on, and you congratulate them. But Molly did not do that. She shot her down when in reality, this was like a huge milestone for Issa. The reason why I feel that at one point I was Molly was because I was in a very insecure place. And honestly, I regret losing out on a friendship, a lifelong friendship. I had a friend, she was a Sagittarius, and I felt like it was a mutual thing. We were in very negative spaces at the time, and I have thought about reaching out numerous times. I haven't done it yet. I'm thinking about doing it. I feel like I should. Give this video a thumbs up if you feel like I should reach out. But the issue within our friendship at that time was we were in 2 different spaces. We were both in negative spaces. We were both in insecure spaces, and we just were not good friends to each other. We were just not good friends for each other at the time. We were going through a lot. We were going through an identity crisis. I mean, we were just going through a lot. Now, we were pretty young. We were not in our 30s, but we were young. We were young enough to know that we were in very toxic spaces within our lives, and it just made our friendship very, very toxic. The reason why I felt like I was Molly was there were just times where I look back on the friendship, and there were just times where she didn't need a lecture. You know, she just didn't need my opinion in that moment. Maybe she just needed encouragement. Maybe she just needed uplifting. We had the type of friendship, and we're both fire signs, but we had the type of friendship to where we would tell it like it is, but there's a time and a place for that. And I felt like I never created a space to just be encouraging, to just be uplifting. I felt like it was always, oh no, you shouldn't do that, you shouldn't do that, you shouldn't do that, you shouldn't do that. Oh no, don't do that. Oh, I don't think that's a good idea. It was always, I don't want to say negative, but it was just, it just wasn't balanced. Our friendship was not balanced. It just wasn't balanced. So it was just a lot more constructive criticism and semi-negativity versus positivity, encouragement, and uplifting. When it comes to Molly, I get where she's coming from, but you have to understand the importance of balance. And then it's also coming from an insecure place. So there was one point where I was super insecure. This was around the time where I was still in school, and I felt like everyone had went off and did their own thing, and I was kind of left behind. So I treated my particular friend a certain type of way, like, oh, we need to be doing this, and this, because we were in the same boat. Maybe we didn't need that. Sometimes we are too hard on ourselves and our friends. Sometimes you just need to be a listening ear. Me taking on a more feminine aura, it has really taught me how to just listen, not everything needs to be said. And when I look at Molly, she was definitely in her masculine energy when she addressed Issa in that moment at that time in the way that she did, and it was just uncalled for. Her behavior is definitely trash. I don't feel like Tiffany is Issa's friend at all. She seems to have more loyalty to Lawrence, which I find to be odd. In my opinion, Tiffany is a trash friend. I just felt like you don't respect Issa at all because of what she did not say, and she should have said something. Now, Condola, I like Condola. I just don't think Condola and Issa should be friends, but I think that they should be cordial. I think it's okay for them to have a work friendship type of relationship, but I don't think that they should move forward and be best friends. I think that would be very, very messy, but you can tell they have a lot in common, and that is the sucky part. Whenever you're out here and you may be dating some guy that this other girl dated, you probably have way more in common with that girl than you think. And instead of y'all beefing because y'all had the same cake at one point, it doesn't make any sense to me. It's just like, girl, let it go, let it go, let it go. You could possibly be best friends with that girl, but if you are still dealing with the man, or if she's still dealing with the man, I feel like that's when it's messy. But if you're no longer dealing with the man, go ahead and be best friends with the girl. Whenever I dated a guy that dated another girl that I knew about, and we talk and we joke about the guy that we both dated at different times or whatever, and we just get to talking, and about 30 minutes later you just be like, wow, this girl is really cool. No wonder he was attracted to her and me. It's kind of like that type of situation. Molly, she's just going through a growth spurt. I feel like Molly is aware that she's a fucked up friend, but I don't think she really understands to what extent she's just a bad friend. I always wonder why Molly doesn't have friendships outside of Issa that kind of challenge her, motivate her, and push her to go to the next level if she really wanted to, like having her own firm of some sort, or maybe doing something outside of her job that maybe she's passionate about. I never really see her do anything like that. So I definitely see Molly getting jealous of Condola just because it's always Issa and Molly. And that was another thing with me and my Sagittarius ex-best friend, was that we would get jealous of each other if we stepped out of our friendship and started hanging out with other girls. So it was just an unhealthy friendship. It was just so unhealthy. When I look back on the situation, it was so unhealthy. So you have to have that healthy balance. You have to have that distance. You have to have that individuality whenever you're best friends or close friends with a girl. You have to have that healthy median. Too close is too close, and not checking up and not calling up on your friends is too distant. But every now and then you should. I'm not saying you gotta talk to them every day, even every week, but I mean periodically you would want to check up on your friend. Me and my best friend from Houston, we don't talk that much, but I checked up on her recently because of this whole pandemic thing, just reaching out. She is a nurse. I was reaching out just to tell her that she is appreciated because she is a nurse, and this has to be a tough time for her. So I reached out to her, just wanted to wish her well and wish her the best and just encourage her and uplift her right now because she's going through a lot. And she actually caught the coronavirus and she recovered from it, thank God. So I didn't even know she was going through it until I reached out. So you just never know what a person may be going through. Don't ever take it personal when you don't hear from your friend for a minute. You know, maybe just reach out, send a quick text like, hey, I'm just thinking about you. It doesn't have to be a big ordeal. When it comes to Condola and Issa, I definitely feel like they should just remain work friends because Issa needs that type of positivity in her life. She needs someone that pushes her and motivates her and encourages her and uplifts her to reach her passion and her dreams. So it's nice seeing two black women just supporting each other, even under the circumstances and even under the scenario, the fact that Condola is dating Issa's ex. But I love how they kind of just put that to the wayside and they focused on their common goals. So that was something that I love to see. I love seeing Black women work together and overcome an awkward, sticky situations. To me, I felt like season 4, episode 1 was a good episode, and there was so many layers and context within this episode. To me, there was just so much that you could talk about, but I really just wanted to focus on Molly, Tiffany, Issa, and Condola, and how these ladies are very different, and how Tiffany is a trash friend, in my opinion. A girl that does that, a friend that does that, does not respect you, and that is just a friend that you don't need to have in your life. She does not respect you. If she can't tell you something of that level of seriousness, of that level of respect, in my opinion, she's really not your friend. Molly is still Issa's friend, but they just have issues that they need to work on, and part of it is personal, individual issues that they need to work on within themselves so that they can be great friends together. That's all that I have for this video for today. I would love your thoughts and opinions. Make sure you comment them down below, and if you're new here, subscribe, hit the notification bell so that you are notified for when I upload, and I'll catch you in my next one. Bye guys.